Hello, this is Michael from Blue Gem Tarot. Today's episode, Pick a Card reading, is going to be called What Do People Tell Themselves About You? Or I could also word it in the following way: What do they secretly tell themselves about you? Honestly and obviously, this is gonna be the layer that they do not voice out, they do not talk about. You most likely do not know what they tell themselves about you, but you could have an inkling, you could have sort of a hint about this. I really enjoy this one particularly because it shows what we do not know, what's not quite apparent, and because of the style in which I channel this information, I love that I can extract the best, most like pleasant outcome for you. Even though if I have something negative to say, I will deliberately try to insert it into the reading so as to help you understand the greater picture. But usually the positive messages are so overwhelmingly like many that I just don't have time for the rest. And it's pretty fascinating how it all fits into the time limit quite seamlessly, and I really love that, and I'm quite proud of this. For this reading, we have three piles as usual. Pile number one with a turtle, crystal, or stone. Pile number two with an angel. It's a magnet, by the way. And pile number three with, I forgot what I placed there. Let me look at the picture. Kind of funny though, like I love the spontaneous thing. Yeah, it's a white cat. It's a white cat. I really love all of them. To be quite frank with you, I would choose every single one of them and watch. Judging by the elements and the information I got in all the three piles, I can pretty much say that you can do the same thing. But pick what's yours, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, don't come after me. I don't have time for that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I just want to go ahead and say that I'm super thankful and thank you so much for your support, your comments. I really love reading them. I try to get back to them, but it's like this is exactly the case where I can say with confidence or not that I am easily overwhelmed by positive comments. Okay, every day I learn something new about myself, and I'm like, it feels kind of almost like shameful because I really like want to get back and make the person feel like I saw the message, and I was like, yeah, I had a really positive comment, and I was like postponing to respond to it, and I was like, yeah, this is so sad, but just know that even though I didn't respond or react to it immediately, you have my feedback on it. It's my positive like feedback and like love for your contribution, regardless of the way in which it shows up. Just know that you're loved and that I appreciate you, and sooner or later I will get back to the comment. Okay. uh yeah, I just want to say the energies were super inspirational for all the three piles. Super positive. I really loved this. If I'm gonna stumble across this reading and choose a pile because I tend to forget the information that I blather about, then yeah, I'm gonna be super proud of what I will hear because I really love what I made here. So yeah, a bit of a proud moment. So the timestamps are gonna be in the comment section and the description section, as usual, along with the donation link if you want to donate. If not, that's also okay. What can I say? It's a bit of a backstory in here, but I just want to say that you are a huge inspiration for me to keep going, because this is exactly how I gained the confidence to read, and it was surprisingly easy to do so. Because I remember my first steps into the reading procedure. Like, I love that it's a procedure because it was very serious and it was very complicated at first, but it seems like shining through your qualities in the work that you do comes really naturally, and I can say the same thing for whatever it is that you're passionate about. It comes as a second or even first nature if you're really really loving it, if you're really feeling like it's giving you energy. So yeah, that's a bit of a lengthy introduction, but I hope I gave you like a fragment of myself there, because yeah, it was super like it was a super strong feeling of being validated for the work that I do, for the fact that I can help you and that you can reflect back to me that it's accurate, it plays out into your life. And it was a huge bonus confidence that I felt, and I was like, I can't believe my eyes. And then I was starting preaching this idea that you have to pretty much do whatever you want with your life and just place yourself out there, because there are going to be people who are genuinely going to recognize and love you. And if you delay that, then basically you're just making these people wait. And in my happy case story, I can say that I didn't wait, and I made a lot of people happy because of it. And you can absolutely do the same thing. And I want to say with confidence, you can do even more if you want. You can exceed and excel even better. You can do whatever you want. You can make it even better than I do. I will be happy. If it helps, go for it. If it makes people happy, go for it. I don't care about who's doing it better. Maybe you're going to be an inspiration. Who knows? Like that's the whole deal of it. I'm really thankful for everything, and yeah, let's begin the reading. Okay, starting with pile number 1. I just want to say this one is super convoluted, particularly because we have two very conflicted or opposing almost energies, because there is a whole deal of silence or observing going on, and a lot of inner dialogue that seemingly comes off as being bitter. This is the energy of a person, or in general people, observing you. I would say even this is beyond one person, because it feels like people do have things to observe, or there is a lot to unpack, as I wrote in here at some point. But generally, this is a very positive type of observing you. It is the type that says, I want to keep on exploring and getting to know you better. But not gonna lie, there is an undercurrent of, let's just say, either sadness or some sort of frustration in here that seems to be a barrier. And it seems like for some, this is a barrier that they are willing to go through or process, or but for others, it's actually the case where we do have this almost like wallowing or sitting in it, okay? Just like, fascinatingly enough, you're coming through as very interesting to observe, particularly because we have this very positive sun card in here. It made me feel like you are generally very uplifting to people, and it's very optimistic, positive, almost too good to be true for my life. Like that's what I keep on hearing. There seems to be this also undercurrent of admiration, optimism, and renewal that you bring to the table, that people feel like almost like they are remembering themselves getting younger, how they were when they were younger, or how it's all very enlivening for some reason, okay? This is a very healing pile, by the way. I got in here a sense of people talking to themselves that you are very alike, or that they find a sort of cherishing of like kindred souls, or some sort of element of belonging with you that is very rare, or that they do not come across very often. We have in here shared similarity and a sense of, you are one of a kind. I would like to build something with you. I would like to know you better. There is strong in here like longevity that I can pick up on as well. But there is some sort of like, again, this reading seems to be split in two halves, for example. And the first half almost like talks about the hesitation, about the distance, about the almost like norms, about like some sort of inhibitions in here that seems to be almost making me like blocked. It feels like I'm blocked for some reason, or people feel like your energy is out of reach. There is a whole facade in here that seems to be playing around the idea of impressing you, wanting to impress, wanting to show you the best they have, because it's coming through from a space of insecurity. There is obsession in here. There is obsession from the idea that it is very unlikely that they will find a person with a configuration of character traits that you do have. And I can see in here that it's coming from a very positive space, and one that feels very fresh, very like, again, for some reason there is this energy of they keep on telling themselves that you make them feel young again. I don't know why this is the case. It doesn't mean necessarily age-wise this is the case, but it can be the fact that people got too serious or they became adults in some way. And there is this feeling that with you it could go differently. It could go in a much more light way or in a better way for them, and just a lot of happiness in here. The inner dialogues of people in here are generally very, very happy and uplifting when it comes to you. I do not sense it being the case where people are even like criticizing you. It's just very pure. I feel like it's piercing through a lot of barriers and even protections of sorts. But we also do have in here some people thinking about you all day or daydreaming or obsessing, because when I was looking at this sun card in here, this shows a person who's generally like very like optimistic in love, and I would say in love, or in this context it feels this way, but it's also very tempting, I would say, because this is the pile that seems to be coming through as a sort of a wish fulfillment again. This is the recurring energy for some reason. But it's as if like you came in moments or in circumstances where you either were the answer to a call, to a problem, or the person didn't do that, but when they met you, it all became very clear. You could be a person who's generally very refreshing to interact with, like a breath of fresh air, something like this, in a very, like let's just say, no, like fresh air room whatsoever, okay? There is a desire to have access to you. There is a desire for like very close communication. Those of you who have crushes and you feel like the person is anxious or something, or even like a bit cold, or with this King of Swords in here, I would say that the person could be like suspiciously distant, or you don't quite know why some people keep their distance, even though you can feel like they're all right, or they could actually like you. There is a huge, huge desire to connect. There is a huge desire. There is this huge desire of also establishing a long-term thing. And this distance is almost strategic. And I want to also say, this applies to also the rest of the people in the ways in which people want to show their best side. So this is, funnily enough, not the case where the person is indifferent and they would pretty much show whatever there is to you, like regardless of like the situation, or no, this is deliberate attention. Seems to be the case where people resonate with you and they want to be favored, they want to be in good graces. This should talk about like, this should be proof about how important you are to a lot of people, even though there isn't a feeling like you're not quite aware of what's going on in here. There is also this thing that's fueling this distance. They are hard to win over. So this like impressing you thing stuff, it's very much so getting in the way. Even though I would feel like this pile is very chill or very okay with people, and like it's very hard to upset you. I would say you do have boundaries, but it's like I don't feel like the necessity for a boundary. Not to say that you don't have to have them in the first place, but I can feel in here as though people can either very much so feel when it will be off for you to experience something from their side, and therefore it's very much so like almost elusive from your side. It's very like light, it's very like no negativity, but you can cut people off in very like gracious, noble, and easy. Like it comes easy to you for some reason, and you're not negative. I like this. I like in general every expression there is, because it's intricate and unique in its like use and whatsoever. But in this case I just want to highlight this, that you do come as like very like positive, very warm, and you have boundaries, but they are very interestingly asserted, that so interestingly asserted that people can actually regret showing some sides that they shouldn't have shown, or things that they like really, like a lot of calculating in here is going on, okay? I've never seen someone like you. There is a unique, distinct energy to you as well. And the monologues in here are very intense. Like a lot of people are having like inner doubts and curiosities about you. Your crushes could be very, very, very curious about you. Like this is giving me geeky slash like nerdy type of energy when it comes to uncovering information about you. However, the overarching feeling in here is happiness, like joy, like almost like the joy, like seeing you, okay? Seeing you, something along the lines of this. You could find this energy split across the whole reading. It feels to me like some of the people's burdens are being like taken away from them, or time really flies by when you're around. Or you could be finding people saying stuff like, you know, I really like your presence, I really like being around you, it feels really nice, it feels really fun, it feels like alive, okay? That's definitely pile number one. There is definitely also this case where it's a lot of unspoken admiration. And also, this is like the admiration in here doesn't necessarily show itself up, because it would feel as though it would be overwhelming, or people don't want to be seen expressing that. Like, there is this feeling of universal value that pile number one embodies. And it makes me feel like people can understand that you do have like limited time or limited slots for your like life and for your friends list, whatever, and they are very like calculated or observant over you. I want to say this, you are not left unobserved, okay? But people have this thing, this thought that it's very hard to win your favor. You could be encountering again cold exterior behaviors from people. A lot of overthinking in here is coming through from this image as well. Thinking about you all day. This is one one particular person in here. I feel like I want to say it's a happy case, meaning that it's actually reciprocal. I really love this. But also we have in here obsession. I want to say this is very fun because I seem to be coming across this all the time. I seem to be loving when I encounter this. I seem to love this whole like message, but there is this like grasping or wanting to hug you type of energy, obsessing over you, but this is like a very quiet, almost invisible, or like daydreamy, and like a lot of hesitation, okay? Um, some hints to this, if you're interested, this could be a very shy person or people, because in general this feels to me like you could be someone who has multiple admirers in here, but generally it's very like genuine, it's coming through very almost fragile, okay? There is a feeling of royalty, like not necessarily like royal blood or something, but the qualities associated with royalty. It can be the case that people have this almost like flashbacks or things about your presence that give them this feeling. Um, there is resistance in here, meaning that they resist something. Like there is a lot of extroverted, deliberate, like you know how kids are when they want something they go for it, or they're not hesitant about what they want. So in here there is hesitation, but there is a lot of resisting over not like freely connecting to you, okay? I want to approach them, and I want to approach them correctly. There is sadness, longing, not enough of you as well. And we have in here also like I seemed to be looking at these two cards, joy in reverse and the unfolding in reverse. So there is like a natural feeling of I want this to unfold, but it won't unfold. Why won't it unfold? Okay. Um, and it seems like from your side it's pretty like why is this so complicated? In my mind it's pretty simple, okay? Uh yeah, this is tiring, not enough for you. Like this is like insecurity in here will play itself out. So also in the context of the people, this will particularly play itself out in the idea that you are experienced in ways that they are not. Okay. um Sadness, longing, I think I got this already. Ray of light, yeah. This is talking from the aspect of positive, like very light, inspiring, like feeling that you generate in people. And I feel like this is almost in extending. I love this, that it extends, it lasts very long. I want to say it's as if the person can meet you throughout the day and they can have their like day made by you, or they can think about an interaction or about something that you said, and the person is really happy about it. And if you're like by the way, this pile could be a bit prone, some of you could be prone to questioning your worth or your value or even impact in this case, but strongly impact. I when I say this is not true, you have no idea how you affect people. And you seem to be carrying like this silver lining in people's lives where they could think about you and say, like, this person was something else entirely. Like, this person was like very different, like almost like magically appeared in my life and then disappeared. Or I could feel as though like you quickly shift or you quickly move through people's lives. So very like almost positively flashy or very inspiring, or just appeared out of nowhere and also disappeared but left a trail or left like a blazing like positive impression or trail. um, and also your impact is very like condensed over time, meaning that it feels to me like you could have said something and it sit with that person for some time or for a very generally long time. And why? Because I can feel as though something about your presence is very like positively dense, and some of your words could be even deciphered or remembered throughout time. And it seems to be placing people in situations where they are growing or they are setting themselves up to success because of you, because they've seen what's possible through the experience of having you perform it. Okay. There is a lot of like also resetting in here that seems to be coming up. And generally it feels to me like the people who do want to be part of your life feel like it's like a bit of a mountain range to cross. But anyways, it feels like it's worth it. There is a lot of unspoken, again, like I love that I wrote this in here, meaning that it's very like fresh, it's very cohesive with what I was just picking up on. A lot of unspoken joy, admiration, and even awe. Some of them actually even had some sort of reverence, strangely coming through, but okay. Every time people see you, it feels to them like it's a new like chapter, either in your life or their life for some reason. But there is this feeling of, like this story is unfolding, like it's the opposite of gray. I can see a lot of colors in here. I see yellow, I see green, of course, and I see light blue. And there is a lot of like, the gears are in motion when I'm with them. Okay. I would say that you're also very multi-layered, and people feel entranced with you. um, you have also a lot of false projections that seem to be falling off with the passage of time. You could have had issues with that, or you could be in general like very used to the idea of people imposing some sort of limiting beliefs upon you, but then you transcending those and actually like wiping some like um, smirks or noses. I don't know how they say it, but in general, like you can embody pretty much anything you want. I want to say it's like, you just have to be challenged, I suppose. But you can embody like multiple concepts or multiple like character traits. I would even say like you're even very like flexible, or you're like choosing the character like that you want to play in this life, in opposition to the idea that some of the people feel so powerless in their life when they meet you in general, that they do not feel like they have like a solid grasp over their personality and what they show or what they don't show. It feels like it's a default, like almost victimhood like type of mindset or character display. But in your case, it feels like it's much more rich It's very like empowering. It's the opposite of that, and it's very like defined or refined or noble. I would even say, because we have in here this card of choices, it makes people overthink and think about their choices or think about you in relationship to their life choices. Now, this is weird, but that's what I saw. There is magic that's linked to you. In what sense? I do not want to go into the witchcraft type of category. It could be relevant for some, but in general, there is just this genuine thing that people like think about when they say there is something really magical or out of this world when it comes to pile number one. Okay. Some people are overthinking. Some people are deep in thought, in thought about you. And again, for some reason about their choices, there seems to be like a feeling of like degraded, like character, personality, person, that they question their choices, like they feel regretful, they feel regret over the idea of what they have chosen, or they met you and they understood that what they chose was wrong. Okay. We have in here like also some sort of frustration with delays, like upsets, frustrations, upset for the delays. Could be the delays linked to the connection or to connecting to you. In comparison to you, people think of themselves as very messy, chaotic, out of control. They also feel longing. There is also this feeling of, I see people carrying a lot of baggage, and it feels to me like you're the one who's not carrying like emotional baggage, or at least this is what I can see people seeing in you. It's as if we have a very like high frequency in here. Like, why haven't I met them earlier? I feel like generally you are like an enhancer of sorts in people's lives. And also this feeling of, again, the cure for my depression. You know, it's as if you can meet people in a space where they connect to themselves, to you, to themselves. Like it's a very like natural connection of sorts where they uncover who they are and they feel themselves. Okay, the person feels really safe around you. Could be having people saying like, you know, you could have friends in here who are so like passionate about like being in your presence. You could be a bit like almost smothered with attention, can be the case, or you could have literally had a situation where the person told you like either they fell asleep or they felt sleepy, or someone said I could sleep, like I'm so relaxed in your presence, I could actually fall asleep. This I believe is very rare, and it happens only with people that you trust. So again, this should be very self-explanatory too. Something about somebody thinking to themselves that there is a long road to connecting to you, at least in a safe way, how they feel or think. Nobility, royalty, again, touching on that energy from the previous statement, and missing you and feeling like very nostalgic, feeling like dreamy. And also it could be that people, you have in here people who dream of you very often, especially those who are like crushing over you or things, but you have a very active presence in people's dreams. Okay, you could be even like having dreams of them and them having the same dreams, and you could be actually like in awe because it felt like it was a collective dream of sorts, you know. But there is this unspoken undercurrent of being called to you. You have no idea how many people have you in good graces. Maybe you are aware, but yeah. You feel very soulful and very inspiring too. Okay. Lastly, let me check what's going on in here. Like, okay, yeah. Decently wanna say it feels like it's very chaotic energy from people in general. It's very like disorganized. Something about you is very organized and clear. Something about you is like crystal clear. It feels like based on this, people find themselves really like lost and sad because they want to connect to you instantly, but they don't necessarily know how or have the actual tools to facilitate that, because people can feel very messy, or let's just say chaotic, or not enough, like not sorted out enough so as to be with you. For you, it could be a whole different definition. However, again, this is what people say to themselves. It's a very, let's just say, from the people, it's coming through as very prepared. Strangely enough, it's prepared for everything. With the world in here in reverse, it's like, I don't want this to be ever over. I don't want this to end. I don't want, like this. Very inspiring, very like sun. We have the sun energy. We have synchronicity in the reverse. I would even want to say, some people, this is like a very strange message of sorts, but it's coming through as as follows. Somebody said in here that you're at temptation, because we have synchronicity in reverse, but over time it's as if the notion changed, and they like almost like, it could be the case that they fell in love, okay? But what's suspicious in here, it's as if like with synchronicity, the circumstances, the label, the situation, how it panned out or how it appeared, it could have been the case that you were seen or regarded in their eyes as a sort of a temptation, where literally it doesn't have to be the case, or you literally did nothing, okay? But the person was immediately drawn, okay? And it's as if over time, the person said to themselves, like, I don't care what this is. I don't care if this is a temptation. Angels or like the devil or God, whoever can come to me and say this is a temptation. I know what I feel. I know who this person is, and I don't care about anything. Like with synchronicity, it could be like the whole universe can keep you away from me, but it won't work. It won't, like, and this is coming through from like a very observant, like stalker type of energy. Hopefully it's a good type of stalker, because I can see in here it's a very long-term observation, long-term commitment type of energy. So that's like fingers crossed, this is not suspicious, this is not bad energy, okay? So that's it, pile number one, the one with the turtle crystal. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm moving to pile number two. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check out the older videos on the channel or previous ones as well. And if you want to donate, you can find the link in the description or the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Okay, pile number two. This is fantastic, okay? This is fantastic. This is a bit even like, yeah, I hear like too good to be true. Okay. But nonetheless is the case. It's not a coincidence he chose the angel like magnet. It's a magnet. But we have in here some very positive things, obviously. Starting from this tree, 4 of challenges. Now, this, the backstory of this card says that it's like a safe space, a safe harbor. Yeah, I even wrote in here safe space or saving grace. There is somebody saying I hallucinated them, or they're not real. This is like too good to be true. Like somebody wrote a list and said to themselves, like, this is my match, this is what I want in a person. It could be like literally the case where the person doesn't even have to have a list necessarily, but when they saw you, they understood that you are like a collection of their like desires or what they want to see in a connection that's really close to them. And I even want to emphasize the fact that this is not even necessarily romantic, but the person was so happy seeing those traits in you and you in general that they said like, I just want to be with them. I don't care about the label. But to me, this could be literally also romantic, okay? But it's very like, where is this person coming from, okay? What's going on? Who is this person and what are they doing here, okay? It feels like they are in a dream. Or I even wrote in here, I feel like I'm in heaven. You feel surreal, okay? You feel very kind. You feel very like a very okay. it feels like you are a resource to this person, or in general in the context of the people, because that's a people context still. There is this general feeling of, they're not like everyone else. um, this is the case where it's so good it's actually creating a distance or a split of sorts. Okay, we have 10 of spells in reverse again. This is coming through as, this is too good, this is way too good for me. Okay, it's like I run into a close chance or proximity of being rejected. I see in here very positive energy. I see in here very uplifting again. Very like with the Nine of Pentacles, why I saw in here that you are kind is because we have this generous sharing energy being depicted in here. You're not hesitant to be generous in a world that really like clasps and hoards a lot of resource. It is relevant, just like with pile number one, that you do have this childlike wonder. Um, could be also angelic, resourceful, generous, just a lot of very good, like honorable, virtue-like traits. Welcoming, out of this world, chosen scars. Okay. Um, everyone wants to be friends with you. That's the energy I can pick up on, and it's like, this is the match in heaven, or you could have like, I would sense in here, strangely enough, a battle of swords because of how many people want to be around. Okay, you will resonate with so good reputation that you could be having like too many friends or too many people actually wanting to reach out, where you're like not necessarily like able, or it could be the case that some of you are actually introverted. Okay, and you're not used to this kind of attention. I can also pick up on a lot of respect. This is not necessarily even respect, because in this case, this is more than respect, or it's actually coming through as admiration again. This is the case also, strangely, where people could want to give you gifts, or they feel drawn to giving you stuff, or it's like there is a desire to prove themselves through the gifting of things for the sake of you remembering them, and there is a lot of gratitude, recognition, and like, yeah, gratitude for your aid, for your help. Could be that you helped people a lot, can be the case. People feel like they could open up, or they could feel very gentle in your presence, and thus we have this child of spells of sorts in reverse. It feels like you're a safe harbor of sorts. Also, funnily enough, I want to say the quirky, like rejected aspects in people, they feel welcome in your presence. It feels like people can feel themselves, like they can feel alive in your presence. Something about you generally felt like, you know, this recognition feels so interestingly ancient, and so like, again, drawing its like roots from childhood, well, where people could have felt rejected, or could have felt like, life is just like cruel, and I have to hide myself and close myself off emotionally. And thus we have this star card in reverse, and usually I see the star card in reverse like when something happens and the person is giving up, or the person gave up on the idea with the soul family in reverse that they're going to ever meet a person who's gonna be fully safe for them. And there we go, we have this war of challenges, like you being the exception. I just want to say that I have this image fun like it's a very fun one, like people want to like just grab you and put you in their pocket, and save you from either situations in life, or in general save you for like having readily available, like having you readily available to them. Okay, there's just this strong feeling of belonging, and with this 10 of cups, it's like there's a whole deal of suffering with the idea of either losing you, or losing touch with you, or no longer contact. Like there is a very strong undercurrent of like divine presence or like very angelic stuff going on. Okay, like angel like, very like, I see the color white and a lot of sparkles in here. I don't know what's going on, but generally like you feel like you are a shelter of sorts. We also have the Six of Boons. This is the Six of either Pentacles, or but this reminds me of the Six of Cups as well. But you know what? It feels like people, like exactly how it's being shown in this image, you could have a lot of people wanting to be close, okay? The inner monologues in here, how they will play themselves out, like what do people tell themselves? First of all, scarcity, like, you know, I meet this person, I come in contact with them, and then what? Like, this is exactly the question. Like, I feel so good with them. We have uplift in reverse. Like, I feel so uplifted, but again, for how long? It feels like, you know, you either give some sort of like signal or some sort of like push for people to, like, you know, I've shown you what's possible. I've shown you what you're like. I could see like the true you. I could see who you are. Like, can you do the same for yourself? But there is a huge like sad feeling of not wanting to let you go. And again, thus we have this Nine of Boons. It's like people keep returning, okay? uh some people want to be rescued by you, some people want to be almost like taught by you. By the way, this pile, if you have some sort of channel of communication, either it be also a channel from YouTube, or it can literally be something else, whatever, entirely, because like you can use your imagination on that. But you are a very good person to aid people. The vengeance, overcoming slides of choice. It feels like you are capable, again, similarly to another energy I was picking up on the channel lately. It's like almost like rescuing people, showing them their way, if you're resonating with that. But I want to say this is so fun because soul family in reverse, there is this like decision or assumption in this case that I'm never gonna meet anyone ever that will truly understand me, who will truly understand me. And this is like a falling stars type of situation. Like, you showed up, you appeared, and the champion in here can be also about you. It's like people just don't know how to necessarily even explain to you or show you how grateful they are. It's like, you know, there are some limitations almost in the like 3D material like world that they are not able to overcome. But it's like, you know, why is this person capable of seeing my potential so well? Why is this person awakening my inner dormant feelings, my true essence, my true self? Like, there is like this like idea, like almost like the sunken um city, like civilization type of scenario, and you're like pulling this out. You're pulling it, like you are like almost making it, people feel reborn, okay? Very healing, I don't know. And you have a lot of gratitude in here. With the champion, it's like, you know, you live in people's like minds rent free, and it's very positive memories. It's very like very optimistic, very fun, very like, you know, this, I've never felt something like this before, okay? There's this overwhelming feeling of wanting to build a community with you, to belong with you. There is this feeling of this pile being capable of opening or creating a community of sorts, okay? It feels to me like somebody, or in general, this is general information, could be the case that people thought that you can actually create or establish a community or be a leader of sorts, okay? That's definitely what I can see. It's like you're capable of, or people thought or felt this on a very like deep level, that you are capable of establishing a norm or establishing an example, or you are a very caring person and a lot of people would actually follow you, okay? But in general, I just want to go ahead and say people just don't have enough of you. Like, what, I don't know what's going on in here. I don't know what you trigger in people, what you triggered in people, perhaps. But I just see a lot of like cup cards in reverse, and because we have this Four of Wands in here, it's like generally reminding me of the case when you forgot how it felt to be like this. It could be that you awakened something in people very like primal. I want to say it's like the first love type of situation when you fall in love and when you remember your first love, or something similar to this one. But you know, this overwhelming desire to follow you, this overwhelming like association with something that they achieved because of you, or because your presence got like injected in their life, and something about people feeling entirely rejected or faulty will also be relevant, and in your presence that proved itself wrong, or there is a lot of healing of shame, or there is a lot of feeling accepted by you, okay? Not gonna lie, this is so interesting, especially this four of wands in here. It's very like suspiciously like strange to find a blossoming and like a tree with fruit in such a context, and literally it's like if I'm not mistaken, the guidebook for this one was people being grateful for resting in the shadow of this tree, beneath, under this tree. Okay, and them being so happy for it, for its presence, that for its like appearance in the woods, that they even like tied, and you'll see it in the image, they tied some sort of like ribbons with their wishes on the tree. It's fantastically and overwhelmingly positive, okay? And it feels like divinely protected, or it's as if people felt protected in your presence. uh don't lie to me that you didn't support people, or you felt like they are champions too, because for some reason your pile feels to me like you gave some sort of inspiration from to people that they wanted, or they wanted to have in their life, either from their parents or from their childhood. I would even say there is a slight pause. We have almost like general people in here and various like levels of information compressing and dissolving and like being processed. I want to say it's like we have in here literally people sitting with their emotions and thoughts about you because they are overwhelmed, and it's as if like I don't want to sit in this for too long because I will ruin the experience. Like, how can it be that this pile embodies something that people so dearly want that they are not even like, they're not even patient enough to process it all, but they don't want to like be away from you, okay? Like that's the energy I can pick up on. It feels to me like also people got the message, the idea, or the thought that, you know, this is how life should be lived, or I aspire to be like them. Or again, very similar. By the way, you can check pile number one. I say go check all of them, because you can never know what you find. Because literally it feels to me like some of you could watch all three and it could talk about some aspects of your life as well. But you know how an onion has different layers? You're capable of literally accessing the first, very first layer, and people are very multi-layered, and it feels to me like you can encounter various people in various states or various character traits that could even be universally perceived as manipulative or toxic. How can it be that in your presence it gets disarmed? How can it be that you could see the goodness in people, or you can see some sort of positive ray of light in them that people feel really drawn to, and it feels like very sacred. It feels like very like it's beyond physical. It's very like very positive. Okay, inspirational also will play itself out in this pile too. Something about people wanting to be further or continuously be rescued. Again, it feels like people want to have a situation where they can have your presence secured in their life. I don't know. For some reason, I heard that the universe has other plans, but it's like you gave people something that they didn't have from childhood. Like you can imagine, and this could be like grown adults who've never experienced things that you gave them. It could be recognition, it could be validation, it could be anything. But it's like you establish the correct order of things in people, or you establish order, or you give a lot of magic to people's lives, okay? Again. And it's fascinating because a lot of elements of and this is no rescue, this is no like savior type of energy. This is like very naturally cohesive and ecologically integrated in your life and in theirs too. But fundamentally, there seems to have been an issue with people that they felt rejected or criticized, or it could be like too emotional, or you're too like too much like this, you're too intense, or maybe you're too extroverted or too introverted. For you, when it came to interacting with you, it felt like it was just enough. Not only it was just enough, it was more than enough, and people felt something entirely like that was like to the core validation, like validational, maybe, if it's a word. But it's like, it's genuinely the case where I'm in awe, like people saying that, and it's like, I thought this no longer exists. Like people like them no longer exist. And you do exist. That's like the disbelief, okay? Very positive, very like almost saying the energy of like, if they believe in me, I can believe in myself too, you know? Like I wanna say it's generally like this feeling of, why weren't they my parent? Like can I be reparented by them? And I want to also say, funnily enough, this is coming through from very like, it's not like child, and it could be even like children, but I'm reading in the context of a lot of people who are like very like almost to the age where it's not like 20 years old, could be, but it's like more than that. It's like very like almost like elderly energy that feels very shocked that they encountered you. We have a general spectrum in here, like, but the ones that I was picking up on particularly shocked by your presence are the ones saying stuff like, they gave up on themselves. They gave up on the idea that they would find somebody like you. Okay, huge belonging energies, huge wanting to participate in your life type of energies. It's very like a shared recognition of your brilliance, I would even say. And I love it that it's very like distinctive. It's very defined. So that means you can have in here people who know what they're talking about when they see you also very clearly. They see you as very wise. They can see you as very also beautifully defined. It's as if time shapes people and experiences shape people. But let's just be honest, it feels to me like people say it shapes people in word, like in some, so for some of them it shapes them in various like ugly ways. For you, it's as if you have taken everything that was thrown at you, circumstance-wise and difficulty-wise, and you transformed it and you showed the opposite and you embodied this. Like, this is so well done. Yeah, I want to say pretty much like a godly angelic reputation is going on in here with your being associated with your presence. And it's like, congratulations, like, perks, like your credit for that. But yeah, I don't know what you're doing in particular. You can comment below how this is working out for you, but to me this is huge, like lighthouse type of energy, like in the dark, in the night. And the fun part is the fact that people got used to the harsh life or something like this, and when they met you they said, like, you know, it's bearable and it's worth it actually. So that's pretty much it, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated. Let me know in the comment section how it resonated for you in particular. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, check out the other videos on the channel too. And if you want to donate, you can definitely do that. You have the link in the comment section or the description section. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to hear from you in the future readings. Take care. Okay, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Funny, because we have Unfold, Synchronicity, and Joy. Finally, those are upright for your pile. I see in here a shock. I see in here a sort of a feeling of being surprised. I want to say it's positively surprised. It's not something bad, but you could encounter various energies of... Okay, let me clarify this. This feels, funnily enough, like you have in here some sort of readiness of a person looking at the seeker of challenges. Something along the lines of you rocking someone else's boat. Okay. This is fascinating compatibility I can read into. But you know, that kind of joy when you are overwhelmed. Okay. It's like when your family, your parents, or your loved one, whatever the case may be, your significant other returns from a holiday, from a vacation. I got this feeling when I was like little and my parents were coming for me. Like, this is exactly how this feels. This is the story where you are being thought of in very gentle and very positive ways, but with synchronicity in here and Unfold, and as well Keeper of Visions, there is some sort of plan, acceleration of sorts to make it all happen pretty fast. But I can feel in here like the readiness of... could be one person in here being ready and desperately ready to come forward. Okay. There is fascination in here with the 7 of Spells in reverse, but it's like, I want to say there is an overwhelming feeling of joy in here, and it's like, let's keep it under wraps. Okay, let's just concentrate, let's just be friendly. I just want to say there is an overwhelming admiration in here that's seeping through the reading. People wise, this is screaming. It's not even like speaking at this point. People's favorite. I want to drop my guards down, like my walls down. But there is one distinct energy in here with the Seeker of Challenges that just like can't wait. I want to say something about you generally, similarly to 1 or 2, I don't remember exactly, but it's like we have this genuine desire to quickly open up or to quickly accelerate, but I can see you as coming through as like very, very gentle, very... It's like funny, like how this pile, you get a lot of attention with the captain taking command and teamwork, but you'll almost see through the cracks that people can't wait to be with you or to be around you. With synchronicity in here, what seems to be the case, it's almost as if a person or some people are praying that they have more interactions or more encounters with you. I want to say what's surprising me the most in this reading is again an overwhelming layer of positivity and joy, sheer joy of or for seeing you, okay? This is definitely very specific, very, let's just say, um, you can see your world as being like quite, let's just say up front, you have a lot of people who are behaving in very almost predictable ways, but you know there is more to it, okay? There is very gentle, good, kind, and very innocent reputation surrounding you. And almost there seems to be an overwhelming number of people talking very good things about you. And there is this awe, there is this anticipation of what's gonna happen next. But you know, this is also giving me the feeling when you want to, like when you know you have a present or a gift, and when you don't exactly know what this is, what's gonna be, and you have this anticipation, or you wanna just quickly unbox it or unwrap it. Like that's, I wanna say though, it's coming through with a seeker of challenges as very controlled. But there is very much so controlled excitement in here, okay? It feels to me like like the inner monologues in your case are about like overthinking the interactions that are going to be with you, and it's like how do I behave that I'm not gonna be like called out or it's not gonna be obvious. But in here we have a whole deal of like almost turmoil out of the like unrest and like not being able to fully contain themselves, even though we have this very honorable knight in here. It's so funny, I don't know. We almost have a sense of people becoming cold or becoming, let's just say, strangely either avoidant or just very awkward interactions, okay? People feel themselves touched like deeply by your presence, by your interactions, like very, very raw emotions that with this weaver of visions, people feel a bit out of control. And it's both bringing up like various layers of competitiveness, like there seems to be almost like this pure desire to protect you, but then there is a lot of triggering happening in here. So it's like people do feel out of control, but in general it feels like a mix of, you know, almost like envy, but then again people feel themselves saying like, no, but they don't deserve this, you know? Like I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to dishonor their energy, because generally you could be coming through as very disarming to people, and because you radiate that energy, it makes me feel like they could even feel shame for the fact that they thought bad things about you at some point, or they felt as though, you know, they envied you at some point, something like this. There is shame in here, I want to say. There is shame. There is almost like this feeling of almost wanting to ask for your forgiveness for some reason, okay? But just like a very unrest with the idea of like, and even in this case I would say these are definitely for your pile. You have some negative people in here who either got some information about you, or with this synchronicity card it could be that they found some random information about you from trusted sources, that they said, you know, how could it be that I doubted this person, or they were actually better than I thought. And I love that we have this shaking hands in the captain card with synchronicity and joy. It's as if like you could be combining things, you could be combining those two. You could add a touch of your presence or your uniqueness to the things that you do. But with synchronicity as well, it's like, you know, things got overly complicated in your absence, and with your presence there was a resolution, or there was a sheer like happiness. If this is a work setup, like this is about the close interactions or like predictable interactions. It's as if you brought some sort of new element of hope or very harmonious, like peaceful energy to the workspace or to the group setting that just is disarming with this sentinel in reverse. Determination, uncertainty in reverse. Yeah, it's as if you made people question their assumptions, their perception of you, and some of them like let their guard down, and there was like this. I'm looking at the face of this first card and it's like a bit of a disbelief. Okay, why this is disbelief is because there seems to have been a situation where somebody projected some very like competitive bad energies onto you, and now the person is like, I have no proof, or there is no like literal thing that could be brought against me on this account, but the fact that they are aware of it, it kind of stings. And it's like you will have a situation where how you'll recognize this person, they could be extra nice, or you could be encountering people who were colder or even mean, and surprisingly they could be like almost like asking for your like collaboration. Okay, this is like a genuine miscalculation I can hear. And there is this feeling of I want to be friends with them. I want to be friends because there is much more to uncover out of the friendship. And it feels genuine, it feels felt, rather than just being it being impersonal, or like very very light and positive energies coming through with synchronicity and joy, and as well unfold. And it's like, there is this sheer anticipation as well with the idea coming through as like, what will this go into, how will this unfold, how will this shape my life further. But with Keeper in Hero Visions, it feels like when you showed up, there was a lot of like flexibility or dilution, like a lot of like stagnant, negative, like almost boring, like gray, like heavy burdens type of energy got dissolved. I don't know how, why, but you brought some sort of also clarity. I want to say it's like, this pile, this image in here, as I'm like zooming out, it feels like it's a happy accident of like, I like to be out of control with them or with their arrival. This is also the sheer like feeling of being vulnerable in your presence. This is like wanting to be vulnerable, despite at first not being quite also ready to do so. But it's as if some people, you were like a mirror to them of their own like insecurity or their projection, because in here we have the 7 of challenges. It makes me generally feel like you could have like let some things slide for some time, in order for you to observe a behavior or to observe a pattern. It's as if, you could have encountered people like fighting for a resource or fighting for something, and you just gave it away, thinking like, let's just see how this unfolds. And I just want to say, whatever it was that was claimed, it didn't make the person feel very happy. Okay. And when they got like this feeling of satiation with what they got, they understood that like having you was better, or having you by their side, or giving you back that resource, or whatever that is, was much better. Something about a bitter realization when it came through that you were actually much more worthy than they thought, or they actually estimated first, but it came from a very negative almost like point or feeling. Something about this ship in reverse makes me feel like somebody tried to appoint a direction they stubbornly thought was right, and was almost like very certain in their like perception of how things are, should be, or could be a lover, could be a co-worker, could be literally anything. But when the person claimed this reality that they wanted, in the end it didn't make them happy. I just want to say, this pile is persuasive without even trying, or with their energy. It's as if you have let a person roam about, or you have let something be, and because you've done that, the person returned, okay? It's as if like it's the case where you let go and the person is actually coming back, or when you let something happen and you don't necessarily, or you delicately address it in such a way that the person is actually capable of, let's just say, coming to their own conclusions. I just want to say your reputation all along was untouched, and here this is fascinating. It's as if, I can see this star and strangely also this image. Like your blossoming was in stages, was in like parts, or was gradual, and you didn't force it. It's like you didn't want the full blown like sunlight or starlight to blind the person or the people, but you let it happen, and it's like, I won't fight for this, but I know it's mine. It's like, and that was in and of itself the power that was exerted in the situation enough so as to destabilize and make the person question themselves, or people in this case. Because it feels like by default people for pile number 3 behave in a very predictable way that defines or determines what they're after. And in this case, you were actually allowing the person to take what they wanted, but you made it so that it was no longer that appealing, or it was no longer that big of a deal, because like almost like losing your trust or your good graces was much bigger of a price to pay. This is like, this pile feels like it has a very similar connection to the qualities of nature, or in general, yeah, nature, I would say. It's like very also generous, similarly like powerfully and like vibrant, I would say. But like this is exactly also the nature that's creating the calamities that simply sweep away civilizations if it has to. So like the undeniable disapproval of pile number 3 seems to be making people crash out in various like crises, or questioning or doubting themselves. I don't know. This is I would say this is some sort of an ultimate power for pile number 3, but it's like the balance and the wanting to keep you in good graces. It's like a sort of a sacred milestone for people. This is that type of like the house plant that you go for and you buy and you take care of it, and if the wind is blowing in the opposite direction of which this plant should like receive, then it basically withers away. And I'm not saying that you're capricious. This feels too independent to be capricious, but it's like for the blooming and the fruit of the like, for the blossoming and the bearing of the fruit process, this is a person worth fighting or caring for. This also feels like you are something that's very sacred and valuable, and almost because of it very fragile and easily not broken but incorrectly handled. Like under the wrong, like almost like mold, or under the wrong conditions, this pile simply disappears, okay? Simply disappears, and all of the blessings associated with you also fade and wither away. This is not gonna be the person who's actually going to scream and talk and debate their boundaries. This is the person who's going to give reasonably, and if it's not working, they will simply disappear. Like, exactly how plants are, they're not like, they're not gonna walk away. The trees, I don't know, plant life, nature, it feels like the plant won't walk away. It will show some signs of distress and then it will simply Like, go. In your case, literally, it could be that you're going, you could go, but in general, it's like, people are scared, okay? They're scared that they messed up. What seems to be the case where they tell themselves in this case is like, did I do my best, or did I actually mess it all up? Did I lose my chance with them, with synchronicity? And here's like, this is a rare opportunity to show up. And if I messed it up, I feel like this is just game over for me, okay? But the thing is, it's like they need a lot more time to actually process and digest everything that you triggered. This is not necessarily said in the negative context type of trigger, but this is also the triggering of the awareness, okay? So it's like there has to be a point where the person is actually questioning themselves and given the space to digest and to readjust their behavior. But it's like, wait for me. Like, I can hear this word, like, please just wait for me. Like, I didn't manage to properly show up, just wait for me. I love that this pile is setting an example in silence, like persuasive, but like in silence for some reason. It's not proving anything. Like, I love this. It's very effortless, okay? You could be like literally creating something on the internet, for example, and you don't have to debate why you're doing it, or why you're fighting for a cause, or you're not looking for validation or for the reason why this is right for you, or you're not explaining yourself or overly explaining. Your energy, your decisions, your actions speak for themselves in this case for pile number 3. And that seems to be highly honorable to people. They find themselves like speechless when they encounter you because they expect this active, immature almost behavior of a child. Not from you necessarily, but by default. And when they find you, they like get reshaped without even realizing it. It's a very gentle type of reshaping. It's not the violent type. This is how the water reshapes the stones over time, or the wind, how it sculpts the structures it like frequently visits, that kind of story as well. It's pretty fascinating how magnetic this pile is for simply being, okay? It's as simple as that. And it's as genius as well, too, because the reactions in here, I want to say from the bottom like line of the cards, it's akin to like a cracking of an egg, okay? It's like that moment when you want to impress, but it's a bit too late because you've already made that like not so good impression at first. So, yeah. By the way, how you'll recognize yourself in this reading, exactly what I said about not proving anything, but you will have situations, strange ones, when you will leave, for example, could be a workspace, could be whatever, and you'll have a trail of people who will actually want to keep tabs and contact you and be in touch whatsoever. This feels like almost worn out. It feels like you're like very generous and giving to people, but yeah, when things are being like worn out and like there is no way back, this is exactly the plant thing I was talking about. The plant just doesn't go. It just like shows you the signs of distress. And it's natural for this pile to just disappear at some point. Okay, the motorcycle rush, it seems to be getting out of control with the next or with the new passing day, but yeah, that's the thing. So I think that's pretty much it, pile number 3. That was very unexpectedly calm for some reason, but I loved it. It's very like, it's a very attractive energy. I want to say it's a very like, what is mine is already claimed type of energy. It's very mature. It's very I love it. It's very magnetic. It's like either you draw people in, like the quality ones, or you don't, and you just walk away. And there is not much of a big deal. It's like more of a what's the next chapter in my life? Like what out of this like negative emotion or experience, what did I like? What do I want to create next? Okay, that's funny. But okay, like that's the it's funny because you have no idea how many people are still thinking about you. You have no idea how many people still have you as a memory, as a like remaining memory in their mind about you. Okay. Like that's what I can see, and you'd be like almost like maybe this pile is not that interested in the past, but you have some people like rethinking their choices for sure. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment below how this resonates for you personally. Check out the other videos on the channel too. Subscribe if you're not already, and if you want to donate, you can find the links in the comment section or the description section. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to hear from you in the future readings. Take care.